Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Today we're going to be working on this Google Pixel 2 XL. As we can see, the screen is damaged, so that's what we're going to be replacing today. As usual, we're going to go ahead and power down the phone. Now this screen, when you replace it, it does come out from the front, so what we will be doing is going from the front. Okay, so I have my Sesamo tool, and I'm just going to pry in a little bit. I'm just trying to get in there. Little gap so I can work my way around. Now notice before I started, I had this screen preheated already on my heat pad. I do have a heat pad at the shop, so that's what I use. If you guys don't have a heat pad, you can use a heat gun or a blow dryer. You just gotta blow dry around the frame, and then as long as it's nice and warm, you can go ahead slowly try to pry something in there. Like I use my Sesamo. Once I get in there, then I stick a little plastic tool in there. For some reason, this phone keeps restarting every time I turn it off. But there we go. As you can see, I'm just sliding this around, getting in between the glass and the housing. Just slowly working my way around. So I'm just, every time it gets a little tight, I just use a little isopropanol there. I'll just squirt it in there. If you see, that's what I'm using. It's 99% isopropanol, so it helps break up the adhesive. As you can see here, the screen's no good, so you want to try to get underneath the LCD, between the LCD and the frame. Once you get in there a little bit, it'll be easy to slide around. I got some glass shards here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pick these out. Just be careful depending on how shattered your glass is. I know people like to put tape over this, but I don't feel it's necessary, but you can if you want to. If you want to avoid glass in your hands. But at this point, I'm kind of used to it, so it's not too bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull off that little tape there. Just continue working around. The part you see where it's really shattered, what you want to do is you want to try to pull those little shards off first. That's the mesh there. We'll put that to the side. Yeah, just slowly work your way around. Once you get it opened up, it opens up just like that. And you see there's the two cables on the left hand side. For some reason, I don't know why this phone keeps turning on by itself. Must be haunted. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe off some of this glass here, keep my workspace nice and clean. And if you guys are new to this channel, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Doing fixes all the time. Like again, I don't know, for some reason this phone just keeps rebooting. When I turn it off, it just turns back on. It's alright, we'll just keep working our way around. I'm just getting these little pieces of glass out of my way so it doesn't affect my work when I open the screen. So you see you'll have two cables, one on the top and one on the bottom there. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unplug those two cables. They're held down by two clips, so we're going to try to get into those clips. I'm just going to clean off some of this glass first. The less mesh you have around you, the easier it is to work. And less chances of poking yourself. If you guys think these videos are helpful, guys, feel free to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to my channel. So we'll go check it out. I'm going to try to turn it off again, but I don't know why it keeps turning back on. So I'll go ahead and remove this tape and then pop out that little clip on the bottom there. Might be a little tricky, but just try to stick something in between and just kind of wiggle it out. There you go. There's one. I'll try to pop this top one out. This one was a little tough, so try to use the tweezers here. You want to try to get in there and just kind of pop it up there. As you can see, I'm having a pretty hard time, but just take your time. There, oh, just flew over there. There it is, guys. We'll just put that to the side and make sure the phone is off. If it can't turn it off, just make sure it's in sleep mode. And then we'll just go ahead and unplug these two cables and get that LCD out of the way. Once that's out of the way, what we'll do is we'll clean up any remaining shards and adhesive that's sticking around the border. So make sure it's nice and clean before you put your new display on there. As you can tell, those new displays, they're pretty thin. So with the Google Pixel phones, the LCDs are a lot of the times are like that. They're very thin. I think that's one of the reasons why it deters me from buying a Google Pixel as well. Just knowing that the fact that the screen is so thin like that. It seems like it would break very easily. Go ahead and clean this off. And then we'll proceed with cleaning off the rest of the edge of the screen here. Get it prepped up so the new screen can sit nice and flush. So I went ahead and just sped that up a little bit. Got everything all nice and clean. Got the new display here. Comes with the factory plastic and everything. That's what it looks like, guys. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove this tape. And then we'll go ahead and apply the screen. Also take that plastic off. So you take off all the plastic covers. You don't want to leave that in there when you're fixing the phone. It'll be too late by the time it's sealed, so just make sure you guys double check that. Something feels a little pointy there. I think it's a piece of shard. Try to get that out. With these Google Pixels, like I said, these screens, they're like razor thin, so I don't want anything protruding. Because anything like that, it can end up cracking the glass when you're installing the screen. Feel it. Try to get that out of the way. Make sure everything's nice and flush. I'll double check everything again, just to make sure everything seems good. So we'll go ahead and plug in the two cables there. Sometimes plugging in these cables could be a little tricky, so just kind of slowly wiggle its way in. Don't force it. Just kind of rub it around, just make sure it finds its spot, and then it'll sit down. It'll seat itself. Same as this one, just kind of work it around. Slowly plug it in. Just make sure everything's nice and tight. Then you should be good to go. Just double checking, make sure everything's nice and snug. Fold the screen over. There you go, guys. So we have the display there. Let's test the touch real quick, make sure everything works. Seems like it's working, so we're good to go. So we'll go ahead and open her back up and start with sealing up back the phone. Just find something to kind of rest it. If you guys are still watching this video, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you like to let me know if you need something, some educational stuff or something that you need fixed. Hopefully I can make a video or already have a video. You can check my channel. We'll just plug that in. Make sure the two cables plugged in. Once they're plugged in, you should be pretty good. So it goes in from the bottom first into the two slots, and then just clip it in from the top. And then we'll go ahead and check it again just to make sure. So everything seems to be good. Take that off for now. Feel the touch again. Can't remember the password. Alright, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit here. I'm just cutting the tape just so I can put it on the main board there so I can keep the LCD and the frame bonded. But I'm just using this as a tack solution. What I'm gonna be applying is a liquid adhesive. It's called B7000. I use those on most screens that have to be applied this way, and a lot for like the Samsung Galaxy, like the back glass and everything like that, just to keep it nice and tight. Just because I know with these factory adhesives, they don't tend to last long. With heat and cold temperature change, it tends to loosen up. So I like to put security in my bonding when I get it done. So I like to put this B7000 right here, guys. If you're in the cell phone business, you need to get yourself a couple tubes of these. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and run this adhesive around the frame, just around the border there. That way when this glue dries up, it's going to make sure the screen is bonded to the frame. And once it dries up, it's soft. It's not like crazy glue where it gets all hard. It actually helps with absorbing the shock too after it's all cured. I never have a problem with customers coming back telling me the screen's lifting or any of that stuff. Once I started using that, I don't ever stop using it when I have to apply a piece of glass on anything. So we'll go ahead and just line everything up and just push everything into place. Make sure it's nice and flush. We'll go around and just make sure everything's nice and flat. And then whatever leftover adhesive, what I'll do is I'll get the ISO and get a little rag, and I'll just go around it and just clean off the edges. So just go around, give it a quick wipe there. Make sure everything's nice and clean. Right now, because the liquid is still wet, it comes off very easy. So you just get the remainder off. And we'll be good to go. That's it, guys. That's the Google Pixel 2 XL front screen repair. Just gonna test it real quick, see what's going on. If you guys watched to the end, thank you again, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Feel free to follow me. I'm coming out with new videos all the time. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna put the plastic seal back on, put some tape on it, and then make sure everything's nice and tight. I'll show you what I do. People like to use clamps. You can use that too. I like to use tape just because I have a whole bunch of tape around and it tends to bond a little better in my opinion, because when I see it, when I wrap it, I can tell that the gap is tight. There is no gap. I just put quite a bit around just to make sure everything's nice and flat. And like I said, guys, with all the screens that I have to replace, that usually comes like this, where I have to bond it like this, or any back glass for the Samsungs or Sonys or anything like that, I use tape. It works just fine. Just give it some time to dry up before you let the tape off, and then you'll be good to go. Like I said, with that B7000, once that dries up, you're gonna have a very nice tight seal. So that's gonna be pretty much the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm probably just gonna fast forward this a bit because it's hitting near the end, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.